The U.S. has many federal pay regulations, and one of them is the Family Medical Leave Act, also known as FMLA. FMLA is one of the most common pay regulations in a workplace, but it is also a regulation that has not been around all that long, but has a great benefit to the regulation that changed a lot for people when it was put into effect. The Family Medical Leave Act is a law to ensure that you still have a job if you must take time off because of a medical condition that affects yourself, or if you need to take off of work to take care of a spouse, parent, or child that is sick with a medical condition. The first draft of the legislation for FMLA was written in 1984 by the Women's Legal Defense Fund. Then in 1993, the Family Medical Leave Act was finally signed and passed by President Clinton. Before FMLA was passed in 1993, it had been taken to Congress every year from 1984 to 1993, and every year it got blocked, and in 1991 and 1992, Congress did pass the legislation, but then it got vetoed both times by President George Bush. Passing the Family Medical Leave Act has been a great benefit to men and women and is used several times for many different situations. By law, employers with at least 50 employees or more are required to offer FMLA to their employees, but employers that have less than 50 employees don't have to have FMLA, but they may have another form of similar law that is state covered. To be eligible to get FMLA, you must work for 12 months for your employer and have worked 1,250 hours, and then you are eligible for 12 weeks of unpaid FMLA in any 12-month period, and you can either take it all at once or as needed. Depending on the employer's procedures on how to request for FMLA, you would need to follow those procedures, but you should always notify your employer as much as in advance as possible to allow them time to prepare for your time gone. The different conditions that are covered under FMLA are serious health conditions that affect yourself, spouse, child, or parent, such as any condition that requires to stay overnight in a hospital or other medical facility, any condition that leaves you unable to work for more than 3 consecutive days and requires medical treatment, or any chronic condition that causes occasional periods of not being able to work and has a necessity of medical care at least twice a year. FMLA also covers pregnancy, such as morning sickness that leaves employees unable to work, or having to be put on bed rest that leaves the employee unable to work. There is also military FMLA that pertains to certain military family members that gives them the opportunity to take off up to 12 weeks in a 12-month period for specific reasons such as deployment or to take care of an ill service member. FMLA also covers things such as expanding a family, which means a birth of a child or adoption of a child. With expanding a family, part of FMLA, a mother or father can take off work to bond with a newborn baby or to bond with a child that is adopted, but the leave must be taken within 1 year of the child's birth or placement. The Family Medical Leave Act, I believe, has been a great effect to the area of compensation and benefits administration, because even though you have an employee that may be gone for 12 weeks or of military 26 weeks, you do not lose an employee. I also believe that giving that benefit to your employee makes them more dedicated to the employer because they appreciate that they will have a job still after they come back from whatever medical reason they used FMLA for. I feel it makes your employees more comfortable to know that their employer has their back when something happens to themselves or their family that they need to take care of. It eases them to know that they will still have a job after they take care of the issue. I feel that FMLA was one of the best pay regulations passed.